Heart? Okay. If you follow my method, you're going to whine. You're going to be like, why does Mrs. Trigno make us write all of this down? But you're going to be able to do these problems. Okay? I'm only doing this because I love you. Okay? Okay. Here's what I would do when you start a word problem. Step one, all the time. I've said this from the beginning of the year. But step one, define your variables. What are the two things that you are trying to find? I would like you to read problem number one and tell me what the two things are that we are trying to find.
No, we already found them.
Okay, so one of the things I'm trying to find is the cost of a burger, and I don't just want to say burger, okay, because I don't want to, I don't know if that means the cost or how many or the, right. Okay, cost of burger, cost of fries. Step one, do that. Okay, I'm looking for that every single time you do one of these. Okay? Step two, start reading your problem and translate it into an equation word for word. Okay? Bill orders 2 burgers and 3 orders of fries. Stop there. There you go. 2x plus 3 fries, which is 3y. And that's going to equal 850, right? Okay, now let's look at Emily. Emily, 4 burgers?
I'm so hungry.
Emily's ordering 4 burgers and 2 orders of fries. Okay, so 4 burgers is 4x. 2 orders of fries is 2y. And her cost is $11.
Can we use elimination on this?
Yeah, we absolutely can. That's what I would do.
Maybe negative burgers.
Okay. You can use elimination. Now, it's going to look weird. You're right. Like, while you're solving it, the equations will not make sense anymore, but your answers will still make sense. Okay? So, probably what you're thinking, Garrett, is to multiply this top one by -2, right?
Yeah.
Okay? So that would give me -4x minus 6y equals -17. If I multiply everything by -2, this is going to give me -4y equals -6. Yeah, this part, the solving part, doesn't make sense with the variables, but your answer will. So I divide by -4. What's -6 divided by -4?
Ooh, that's like $1
Close.
and
$1.02, which we also call
$1.50.
$1.50.
$1.50 for one burger.
Nope. Now what's y?
Fries.
Fries. Fries are $1.50.
Are you kidding me?
Okay.
You go to McDonald's and get it for $1.
Okay, let's get back to work.
Well, it could be medium.
Okay. All right, cost of the burger now. I'm going to take that $1.50 and plug it back in somewhere.
Medium.
So 2x. All right, let's stop speculating.
Little baggy.
Get back to the math. 850. Plug back into that top equation and ran out of space. 3 times $1.50 is $4.50. So 2x plus $4.50 equals $8.50. Subtract that $4.50 from the other side, and you're going to end up with 2x equals $4.
Burger for $2.
There you go.
Once again, McDonald's. There's something else.
Maybe we're going to a nice
Maybe they're at the classy burger joint. That's okay. So, and then what I would always do is exactly what you're doing right now. Is I would look back at what those represent and just make sure they make sense. Okay? You don't have to question like, well, I think McDonald's is cheaper. But I mean,
Like that?
if you got, oh sure,
Would we get extra credit?
no, but you would make me laugh. Make sure that your answers make sense. If you had gotten a negative number out of that, it would be wrong. If you had gotten hundreds of dollars, you would be wrong. Okay? Okay, Next one, number 2. 13 animals in a barn, some chickens, some pigs, 40 legs in all. How many animals are there? Gabe, what am I looking for? Or did you have something else to say?
I was gonna ask you the bathroom.
Okay, wait till we get through these examples.
No.
All of them?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah, oh, come on.
Every single one.
All of them that we do, I don't know that we'll get through all 5, but what am I trying to find? What are my X and Y going to be here? Okay, good. Yeah. So I have so many chickens. Oh, and I'm not following my own rules. X represents number of chickens. Y represents number of pigs. Okay. There are 13 animals total. How do I write an equation that shows me I have 13 animals total? If I have X chickens and Y pigs.
Equals 13.
What equals 13?
X plus Y.
There you go, X plus Y equals 13. Okay? X plus Y equals 13. If you have 13 animals total, that's what I know. Now I have to do something with the legs. Now these numbers are not given to you, but
Chickens only have 2 legs.
there you go. How many legs does a chicken have? 2. So chickens are going to be multiplied by 2 because they have 2 legs apiece.
Pigs have 4, usually.
4.
Unless they lost that in the 4th one, now they have 3.
Okay, well we're going to stick with 4. We're going to assume none of our animals are mutilated. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people with these problems at this point try to go back and use that 13 somewhere. So I see people just making up a place to put the 13. We already dealt with the 13. We already wrote an equation. We are done with the 13. What should this equal?
40.
40, because this represents how many legs I have. Okay, I have 2 legs on every chicken and I have 4 legs on every pig. How do you want to solve this? Okay, so let's take that first equation and solve for Y. Good. Y equals negative X plus 13. Let's take what Y equals and plug it in right there. So that's going to give me 2X plus 4, and then in parentheses, negative X plus 13 equals 40. Distribute the 4. So 2X minus 4X plus 52 equals 40. Okay. 2x minus 4x is negative 2x plus 52 equals 40. What do I do from here? Okay, subtract the 52. I'm going to move over here to do that. That's going to give me negative 2x equals negative 12. So what's x? Negative 12, negative 2, positive 6, right? What's that mean?
There are 6 chickens.
I've got 6 chickens. If I have 6 chickens and I have 13 animals total, how many cows or pigs or whatever it is I have? 7, right? Really what I just did there is I plugged the 6 back in here and said 6 plus y equals 13, and then I solved it. But if you don't need to write that out when it's easy and tiny like that, I don't care. Again, warning you that if you do write it out, at least I can give you partial credit. Okay? But I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay? So X is 6 chickens. Y is 7 pigs. Okay. That's a good question. I mean, you could still graph this. Really, your axes would represent like numbers of things, but normally we don't write our answers as coordinates because it's answering like 2 separate questions. I think here's what I would like to do. I would like to just try to set up 3 and 4. Okay, let's just set them up and not worry about the solving because I think you can handle the solving.
I think we should do a homework. I still think we should do like problems on the homework that we have.
Well, the homework that you have is pretty short, so I don't want to do them for you. But
Work together on the one.
let's just set these up. Okay? Let's set up 3 and 4, and then we'll talk about number 5. All right, number 3. What are my variables in number 3?
X equals van and Y equals bus.
Okay, but
How many?
how many vans and how many buses?
No, how many students?
There you go. So X is, hey guys, make sure you're paying attention.
Yeah, no more thing up front.
X is students on a van, and Y is students on a bus. Okay? Again, define your variables. Okay. Grant High School filled 1 van, 6 buses, 372 students. What's that going to look like in an equation?
1x plus 6y equals 370.
There you go. 1x plus 6y equals 372. Whoops. Gosh, what? Oh. Having a terrible day. All right.
4x
There you go.
plus
4x plus 12y equals 780. How would you solve that one, do you think? Very carefully. I would probably do elimination, maybe multiply by -2 right here and turn that into 12. Or you can multiply by -4 and turn that into 4. Either way. I'll let you handle that. Okay? Let's go on to number 4.
We don't have to do that one?
You don't have to do that. You don't have to solve it. No, I did. Today, really, my goal is on the setup, okay? Because I think that you're okay with the solving, right? The solving part, you're probably pretty well versed on. Really, the harder part today is getting the equations written for you to solve, okay?
So how many people do they fit on a bus?
Well, you're going to make me actually solve it, huh?
No, like do you have the answer?
I don't, off the top of my head. Nope,
Well, my apologies.
I don't. I'll figure it out in just a second, okay? All right, 4. What are my variables? Start at the end.
X equals the cost of the bus tickets and y is
Is it cost?
How many?
Question asks how many of each ticket. Okay?
adult tickets.
Yep. So X is the number of adult tickets. Again, it's important to specify the difference between the cost and the number. There's one almost exactly like this problem on your test review next week. Okay, so I've got X adults, Y children. I almost said Y childs. And I've got 275 people total. Let's start with just that. What's that equation going to look like? There you go. X plus Y equals 275. That's going to happen a lot. There's going to be a lot of things where it says you have this many total, and you've got to write this simple little equation that says this plus this equals this. Okay? Now we're going to talk about the cost. In my cost equation, am I going to use the 275 at all?
No.
No. So I've got 8x and 5y. Good. You could solve this with either substitution or elimination. Doesn't matter to me. Okay? Again, just make sure that your answers come out making sense with what x and y represent.
Do you want to solve or no?
No. Not on this. On your homework, you're going to have to. But on this, let's just focus on getting them set up. Now, this next one we might solve, because it shouldn't be too bad. Okay. What are my variables in number 5? What are my 2 things I'm trying to find? 2 numbers. Yeah. So x is 1 number. Y is another number. Now you can be pretty simple about that when you're defining them, but do make sure that you do something to show that they are different numbers. Like if you just say x equals number and y equals number, you've got to do something to show that it's 2 different numbers. So you can say one and another, or you could say first number and second number. Okay?
You just say number 1, number 2.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. The difference of these 2 numbers is 7. What's difference mean? No? Subtract. So when I subtract the 2 numbers, it is 7. So that's equals 7. Do you remember like the very first week of school, we did an assignment with word problems where I made you like highlight all the words? That sound familiar? That's exactly what this is. It's the exact same thing. Okay? the first number, so what's the first number? What are we using for our first number? X is means what? In math, is equals 5 less than, what's less than mean? Minus, but remember it's that weird minus where you have to switch the order of the things. Remember, like 5 less than 12 would actually mean to do 12 minus 5.
Yeah.
So in a minute I'm going to reverse that. Twice the second number. Well, twice means 2 times that second number, which is y. And then because it's less than, I'm going to have to switch the order of these. So what's my second equation going to say? X equals, there you go, x equals 2y minus 5. How would you solve this one?
Substitution.
I would probably do substitution here, yeah. So let's take this, plug it in for x right here. So I'm going to end up with x, no, I'm not. I'm putting that in place of x. So 2y minus 5 minus another y equals 7. Okay, so this used to be x. I traded it for 2y minus 5. 2y minus y is just 1y. Look how easy that was. And add the 5 to the other side, y equals 12. Now I have to go back and find my other number. Okay? So I know I'm going to go back to that first equation. Well, no, I'm going to do the second equation because the second equation says x equals. So x is equal to 2 times 12 minus 5. What's that equal? 19. Good.
Well, couldn't you just, if x minus y equals 7, then you just do 12 plus 7?
Yeah, that would work too. Actually, that's what I started doing, but then I remembered that I told you to always go back to the one that says x equals. In this problem, it's not, they're both easy. Okay, so it wouldn't matter to me which one you did. Just to double check, is the difference between 19 and 12 7?
Yes.
Is this number, is this number 5 less than 2 times that number? Yeah. If I do 2 times that, that's 24, and 5 less than that would be 19. So there are your two numbers. Think you can handle these today?
Yeah.
Are you going to whine at me about having to define your variables?
Yeah.
Whatever.